Today we'll be making spiced pear butter. This is very similar to the breakfast spread, or really any spread, of apple butter, but we're going to be using Bartlett pears. What I have here is 15 pounds of pears, because we're going to be making quite a bit of it and then canning it in a water bath. I have lemons, which we'll need the juice from. I have some brown sugar and some regular white sugar. And then I have ground cinnamon, ground nutmeg, ground allspice, and ground ginger. The first step is to peel, core, and chop the pears into large chunks. And then we'll put those into a pot with some water over medium to high heat. And let the pears juice out and release all their juices. And then we'll cover that and simmer it. We'll take an immersion blender and we'll blend it all up so it's like a sweet pear applesauce. And then finally we will reduce it down to the consistency desired. First thing to do with the pears is peel them. So these are all the pears that are peeled. Next we will core them. I'm just going to cut off some fruit here, and I'm going to cut it up and leave it into big chunks. After the pears are peeled, then you want to core them, take the core out, and then chop them into large chunks. Into a large pot goes our chopped, peeled, and cored pears. About a half cup of fresh squeezed lemon juice. A half cup of water. And really the water's just there so that when this is turned to medium-high heat, the bottom of the pot doesn't burn. We're going to be stirring this consistently. 1 cup of brown sugar. 1 cup of white sugar. Just granulated white sugar. 3 tablespoons of ground cinnamon. And this is smelling great already. Love cinnamon. 1 teaspoon of ground nutmeg. 1 teaspoon of ground ginger. And finally 1 teaspoon of ground allspice. On medium-high heat, we'll give this a quick stir. And we'll leave it on the medium-high heat for about an hour until the pear pieces release all their juices. About 20 minutes into our 1 hour, and as you can see, the pears have reduced a little bit. A lot more liquid is showing, and we are going to keep stirring, keep this on medium-high until the pears get soft. 1 hour into the process, we have some nice liquid bubbling on the top. What we're going to do, we're going to turn the heat down to low, cover this, and let it simmer for 1 more hour. Here is our mixture after 1 hour. It is very soft, very fragrant. What we'll do now, we'll take our immersion blender and we will blend all this up. And then we will keep it on a simmer and evaporate some of that liquid out so until we have our desired consistency. After we've immersion blend our pears and our liquid and our spices until about the consistency of applesauce, we will leave this uncovered because we want the steam, as you can see, the steam to evaporate, and we will let this simmer for about 1 to 2 hours. When the mixture is reduced by about a third, we want to turn the heat off, and what we will do is we will ladle this into some jars for canning. And then we have our water bath getting ready to go. So we'll get this into jars for canning. we have our ball jar funnel here, and what this does is this keeps any of the liquid or any of the contents from muddying up or I guess getting in the way of this rim here. We want to keep the rim clean. So we will scoop our mixture into the jars. After all is said and done, and all of our pear butter is in our jars. These are pint-sized jars, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pint-sized jars. We have another larger small jar with the wide mouth. We have another small jar with the narrow mouth. We will get our sanitized tops, which have been boiled, onto here, twist them hand tight, and then we will get them into our piping hot canner for canning. And these will go in the water bath here for about 10 minutes, and then we will cool them on a drying rack. Last but not least, we want to take a moist paper towel, and as you can see here, there is quite a bit of debris that could possibly interact with the proper seal for the gasket on these lids here. We'll take a paper towel or rag and run that over the mouth of these jars, and that's just to make sure that the seal for the rubber gasket holds well. So now that all the jars have been rubbed, we'll get the remainder of the lids on, and then use our grabber tool, because the water in this canner is very hot, to lower this in. So I have my canning tool here, and I am just going to grab my jars by the rim and add them into the canner. This is a water bath canner, so there's no pressure involved in this. However, this does a very good job of sealing everything. So I got my 6 pints of pear butter, and perfect. There's just enough water to where it covers the lids. So I will grab the last one, and that makes 7. So I'll can 7 of them, and this one I will keep in the fridge for personal use. So the lid goes back on, and this was rolling boil right before I put the cans in. I will set a timer for 10 minutes, and we'll do a 10-minute water bath. And we'll let these fully cool.